just a simple guy. This world of struggles around me.
Now, his family, they really wanted you to produce this album and, get it out there. Talk about a little bit of the evolution from having all this great music, losing him, and then finally putting this tribute out.
I got to tell you, it was it was a big heartbreaker for me. After Keith was gone, I couldn't finish the album. I thought, I have really no way to do this important thing that I was involved in, because I wanted to be this great album that Keith and I had done, and get him playing great. I know what he's capable of. I'm a keyboard player myself, and I knew what I could get out of him, and I just couldn't do it. I wrote one song called Our Bond, which was about the fans and about myself and what he meant to us and how I felt about it. But that was it. But 6 months later, I actually called his son, Aaron, and said, Aaron, I have an idea that maybe you should finish this album. That'd be a tribute to your dad. Fitting tribute. I said that backwards because of my lack of coffee, So fitting tribute. And he got all excited. I made a mistake, though, and sent him a really difficult song his dad and I had worked on. And he called me and goes, oh, I don't play like that. That's my dad. Of course, I don't know what I was thinking, because nobody plays like that. It's one of a kind, So Aaron said, I can't do it. And I thought, I get it. It's okay. But it made me excited to actually do it and finish it up. And people don't know this about me, but I had 8 years of classical piano, 2 years of jazz, majored in music in college. I'm capable. I'm no Keith Emerson, that's for sure. But I'm capable of playing, and I was a keyboard player early in my career. So I decided just to dive in and finish it. I worked for a year all the time. Anytime I had in my studio that wasn't with a client or someone I'm producing, I worked on it in the dark, kind of, with saying to myself, what would Keith do here? What would he do? And how would we do this? And it was really a labor of love. And once I got close to getting done, I let Aaron know. And he goes, there's an estate board now that they'll have to give you the rights. I said, what? Yeah, you can't just put my dad's stuff right. They have to. So Aaron went to bat for me. And it was quite a shock after doing so much work. But honestly, I wasn't sure I was going to release it to the public, because I didn't know what I had. I didn't know if it was good or bad. I'd spent too much time on it. I just finished it according to our plan. It was sort of like keeping the relationship alive in my heart and in my mind by working on this album and doing it to the best of my capabilities. That didn't mean that the public had to hear it. It just meant that my dream for 27 years of doing a second album with Keith would be realized, for me. And then I'm up against this thing. I thought, well, hell, if I'm going to let them do that. So I went after that board and said, I need the rights. They didn't want to give me the rights. Aaron went to bat for me. Keith's girlfriend, Mari, went to bat for me. Finally, they said, okay, just don't put his picture on the front cover, that kind of stuff. And I had all these stipulations. All right, okay. And I let the record company know that I was prepared to put it out if they wanted to, and they jumped all over it. And to my amazement, on release day, which was August 10th, it sold out in every country on Amazon. They totally were unprepared for the amount of interest in it, and sort of misjudged the pre-release and the final release of it. So, which was exciting on one hand, but just like 2 weeks ago when they got the second pressing, so it's in the second pressing now, finally people can get it again.
So what's the album? I want to make sure what the album is called and the theme of it. Are we looking at that rock jazz influence through there? And talk about one of the singles that's on it too.
Yeah, the album is called The Rules Have Changed, and it sort of runs the gamut of everything that Keith and I had spoken about. What we wanted to do was an album that sort of honored our past. The three albums from 1988, and we toured through Canada with it, and said great, wonderful crowds at wonderful venues there. Really, really enjoyed that. We wanted to honor that, keep that sound. We wanted to honor what we had been through in different incarnations of different things in the 27 years up until we were working together. And then we wanted to bring it into the now a little bit too. So that kind of entailed, I mean, there was a little jazz in there. There was, of course, a lot of classically influenced stuff from Keith. Those big chords that he's famous for. And, it's progressive rock, but the progressive rock that we were doing together had an AOR slant to it. It had choruses. It had things you could sing besides just the fancy music, we'll say, you know, the progressive part and the classically influenced part.
Now, it's interesting. I don't know if people have had a chance to see the music video. Powerful Man?
Powerful Man, yeah.
Yeah. Talk about putting that together, because that really is a montage of, I'll call it a montage of greatness.
Well, you know, it was written, first of all, because, as you mentioned earlier, you know, I've been so fortunate to play with some of the biggest guys in the business. With Steve Howe, with GTR, the Yes's guitar player, Keith, Sammy Hagar. You don't get, Sam's such a great guy that his career is just amazing. And they all have, every one of them has a son that saw their dad on stage, probably in the stroller or something. You know, they're pushed onto the stage during the Yes sound check, or during, you know, Sammy Montrose early days of the sound check. Aaron Hagar was, you know, he's probably there, and they saw their dads. And Greg, who I work with now, his son took guitar lessons from Joe Satriani, who I ken is an incredible musician. They were inspired by that power their dads had, and that's not like over somebody's mind or something. That's over their love for music and their heart and soul. And those guys did these songs that became a stamp in time of people's lives, you know. And these kids got it, and they're all playing in bands. They're great musicians. So I had an idea to write this song, Powerful Man. And really, Aaron Emerson is the reason I finished it up. And then in the video, instead of having, you know, a bunch of powerful men, and there are a few powerful men, Paul McCartney and his son, Gregory Peck and his son, you know, people like that, I wanted powerful places. And there's, you know, a library in Wales that has more information than anything. There's the Alfani Coast in Italy, which is the most beautiful place in the world. These sort of powerful places are in that video, and it was quite a work to get it all done. People said, well, you can't just throw a bunch of clips together and you think it's a video. Well, they're not seeing what it really is, because it's not much clip. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, you know, and it's, I just wanted to do something nice. So the whole thing about this is that I want Keith's last work. I want the stuff that he cared about musically, artistically, and I want it to be the footnote in his career. Hey, that last thing he was working on is really good. It's classy. It's well done. If you like the music or not, that has to be up to the listener. But that it was done at the highest level is what matters to me. We were talking about consoles and recording and radio consoles earlier. I had everything rebuilt. I bought new stuff. I had the latest Pro Tools. I did everything I could when we started that album to have the best of everything. I had my Moog rebuilt, the best of everything, so that we could really shine. And, you know, you figure a guy like Keith Emerson, you know my history now. You know I've been with a lot of people. And we had a lot to draw from. Our toolbox was really full, and we were ready to pull those tools out and do an album like The Rules Have Changed and it turned out to be.
Incredible. You mentioned we can get this on Amazon?
Yes. It is. And finally, again, I mean, people have been, it's kind of funny the company didn't step up a little sooner. They just really didn't anticipate the demand, which is, like I say, it's a compliment. It's nice, but I'd rather people have it and read the 20-page booklet about why every song was written, what we did, and enjoy it, you know, and that's the reason to put it out there.
Before we go, my friend, how do you want fans to remember him by? Because you knew him very well. And how do you want his legacy to last for generations?
You know, there's a little bit of a problem brewing for me with that. And I would tell you, the Emerson estate wants him remembered as a composer, Well, he was a great writer of music and a great composer, but they don't want him remembered as a rock and roll keyboard player. And he was the only, we'll call it Jimi Hendrix of the keyboards. Nobody did what he did and loved entertaining and having fun with them, throwing that organ around and stuff. So I'm hoping that everything Keith was, the greatest keyboard player, the showman, greatest showman we've ever seen on keyboards, and the great writer he was, along with being a super sweet guy that everybody loved. I'm hoping that's kind of wrapped into something that's palatable and easy to present. Because as you can see, I'm having a hard time packaging it into a small sound bite. That's not Keith Emerson. We defined him as the greatest player. He defined himself by being dedicated to music. And, well, I wish I could say it better than that, but I don't even know how to really complete that sentence. He was just so immersed and so deep into music and everything that had to do with his musical life.
Hey, that's the best way to say it. Incredible interview. Thank you so much for making the time for me. But more importantly, thank you for being able to release this legacy for fans who may not know of him, but more importantly, the fans who do. And you know what? Legacy lives forever.
And I hope that they see that he was still at the top of his game and had plenty to offer. Just things went astray one day. We don't want to define his incredible life by that.
No, we have the gift, and that's what this is going to define that. Thank you again so much for the interview, my friend.
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your thoughts on Keith there too. I could tell you're a fan of his. I appreciate you helping with the music. I hope you get to Canada, because I'm going to take it on tour next year, and Canada's an important place for us to go and figure out how to get this music out in front of everybody.
Oh, hell yeah, I will be there. I'm making sure I hold everybody on that one. I will definitely be there. Thanks again for the interview, and we'll keep in touch.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.